In Latex, I will just change this keyword book to, for example, article, and there are many other options in the document class. And I just compile it, and you see my whole document is now in a different format. It has always been a debate whether one should use Word or should go into really complex LaTeX coding and compiling and all those setups. If you are comfortable doing everything with Word, I will always recommend you to do with Word. But if you don't like to play around with those format changing options and making the margins and getter settings and footnotes and headers and all those stuff, it is probably a good idea to move to LaTeX. And that I can demonstrate with a very simple example, which I have open here on my computer. So I have this document which I built up in LaTeX. Say, for example, I built this document and the next day I was showing it to my boss, and the boss tells me, no, we were not supposed to be writing this document in a format of a book. Rather, we need it in the shape of an article. What do you do in the case of you built all this document in Word? Probably it's going to be a big mess for you. And probably it's going to take a couple of hours to reformat everything in a different format. In LaTeX, I will just change this keyword book to, for example, article, and there are many other options in the document class. And I just compile it, and you see my whole document is now in a different format. With different format, I mean even the heading style is changed, even the page breaks are changed. And for example, I can bring this whole document into two column version with just this one keyword in the starting, and my whole document is formatted into two columns. With that motivation in mind, let's start learning how we can set up LaTeX in our computer or maybe online. And the very basic and the most convenient method for the LaTeX compilation is, of course, Overleaf. All we have to do is open Google, search for Overleaf, overleaf.com. Of course, I'm already logged in. You can also sign up and with your Google account and make a new account, new project. So the best thing about Overleaf is you don't even have to make a blank project. You can just start with some example project, or you can import some templates already available online. So my project's name is going to be Text YouTube tutorial, and we already have an example. For example, I need to edit the title of my paper. I just click on the title, double click. It's going to take me to exactly where this title is in the code. All I need to do is I need to edit, and I just recompile it, and you can see that's how I can start building with Overleaf. Of course, that's the most common method I recommend to everybody who is a beginner, because you don't need a lot of setup to start using LaTeX. But on the other hand, if you set up everything offline on your computer using some IDE, which takes the LaTeX code, compilers, so you need a compiler, and that's all. You set up everything offline, it has its own advantages. For example, the processing now is being done on the cloud with Overleaf, and it takes time to compile every time you make any changes to the document. And in my personal experience, if you're building a document of 6 7 pages, maybe IEEE conference paper, or maybe some journal paper, very short length, is going to be fine. But if you have a lot of data in your document, maybe you're writing a report of 30 pages or you're writing a master's thesis or PhD thesis, that kind of compilation, when you do it with Overleaf, you're going to see a lot of lag in its compilation time, and it's going to take more processing time to compile all those documents. And at one point, of course, you'll have to pay Overleaf to keep using it for your bigger projects. Along with that, we have many other positive points about Visual Studio Code, which I will mention later on when I'm giving you this tutorial. So all we need to do to set up Visual Studio LaTeX files with Visual Studio Code in your computer is to install two things. One is VS Code. We just Google VS Code download on Google, and we see Visual Studio Code we can download for Windows, or if you're on Mac, you can download for Mac. This is a completely free software, so you don't have to pay anything. And next step is you just install it in your computer. So once you have Visual Studio Code installed in your computer, that's one thing. The only next step you're going to take is to install a compiler which can actually transform your text files to PDF compiled files. There are many compilers. I know of MikeText or TextLive. So we can just go to Google and download any of those compilers. TextLive for Windows, and we get TextLive install on Windows. Easy install, and you just need to download this executable file for Windows. You can save it anywhere you want, or you can directly open it. Of course, it's a save file. You need to install the TextLive, not just unpack. So after we have set up everything, we have installed the VS Code, we have installed the TextLive, the compiler for the text files. All we have to do is open VS Code to actually give Microsoft Visual Studio Code a capability of understanding the text files and make it capable of compiling using, of course, using the TextLive compiler, but to give it an understanding of how to use that compiler, we need to install this add-on by clicking on extensions, search for text workshop, and we just need to install this text workshop add-on by James Yu, and you click on install, and that's all we need to configure in Visual Studio Code. So we start with, for example, IEEE conference template, IEEE LaTeX template. In the first search result, I can get the LaTeX templates. There are Microsoft Word templates or there are LaTeX templates. So I just need to download this template and save it in one of the repositories. I have unzipped it using, I have WinRAR, or you have some other software to unzip the file. And these are all the files which I downloaded from IEEE website. So I have VS Code open here. All I need to do is open folder and select that specific folder which had the class and text files. So this is the folder I have, and I just need to select this folder, and you can see that folder and the contents of that folder are showing up in this left pane. This is my text file, which I actually downloaded from my IEEE website. Remember, my VS Code has now capability of compiling the text files. I can just build the LaTeX project using this play button. So it will automatically create these log files and everything, and the project is compiled, and you can see this PDF file which is the output of this compilation. Of course, it is really hard to work with one file and then going to the other file, so we can actually pile them up side by side. We can split the editor into two different files, and now in one editor we can open the code file, and in the other one we can open the PDF file. So we can track the changes as we make. For example, I need to change the title. So my title should be updated to the new one as I make the edits in the file.